Good evening, everyone. Today's topic is soil. Why soil testing is essential before cultivation. Before I start, I would like to thank the host for giving me this opportunity to speak on the current topics why soil testing is important. Let me introduce myself first. My name is A Adeeb Ur Raheem. Uh, I'm a horticulture research scholar at Lovely Professional University. I score GRE of ARI 971 score in OBC category. Why soil testing is important? Like soil testing, soil fertility is basically falls under the seven characters. Like it is the ability of a soil to provide the essential nutrients and suitable environment for the plant growth. Uh, for a plant to grow, it needs a suitable environment. Like it needs soil, water, nutrients availability. Basically, there are seven factors which favors the soil fertility and plant growth. First is the second is the nutrients. There are macro and micronutrients. Uh, we will further discuss in later. Third category is like organic matter. Organic matter is like the soil structure which has a water retention capacity and water holding capacity. Water holding capacity is nothing but when water is poured on a soil, if it stay on the soil or uh, doesn't leach into the soil, that's the soil holding capacity. Then fourth character is like soil texture. It is a proportion of sand, silt, and clay. Silt and clay is nothing but there are the soil particles of different diameters. Like soil is the largest particle, slit is a medium particle, and clay is the very smallest particle in the soil. Okay, it affects the soil fertility based on the proportion. Fifth character is like biological activity. Biological activity means the presence of microorganism, bacteria, which favors the plant growth and development, which helps they decompose organic matter. Like we all know that rhizobium is a bacteria which helps in the nitrogen fixation in plant, which helps the plant in vegetative growth. The sixth category is like water management. Like proper water management helps in the plant growth. Without proper water management, the plant may leads to logging, water logging. Logging means like plant may fall down. Like in field crops, if the plants undergo submerged condition, they are unable to respire. So plants do respire. If we can't manage the water management, it is difficult for the plant to grow. And aeration, like there is an exchange of carbon and oxygen in the soil, so proper tillage should be maintained so that the aeration can be maintained. And there should not be means like a hard pants in the soil. So a proper aeration should be maintained. So these seven factors define the soil fertility. As we move further, what is soil testing? Soil testing is like it is a diagnostic method. It is a diagnostic method to identify the nutrient requirement of a soil and the growing plant. Uh, Basically, it is very difficult to ensure that the right application of fertilizer for a crop. Uh, there are certain terms for soil testing like deficient, insufficient, toxic, and excessive. Deficient means the essential when an essential nutrient is at low concentration, when it is as compared to the required amount. When it is at low concentration, so it is called as deficient. Insufficient means an essential element which is below the required optimum yield. uh, the amount of nutrients present in the soil is not that much that may lead to the optimum yield. Toxic means if a nutrient is present in a higher amount than it should be, so it leads to inhibition of a plant growth. Excessive, an excessive of a one nutrient may lead the another nutrients insufficient. Like the concentration of essential plant nutrient is insufficiently high to result in a corresponding shortage of other element. It will may lead the shortage of other elements. So these are the basic terms in a soil fertility, like deficiency, insufficient, toxic, and excessive. So what is the objective of soil testing? It is to evaluate the fertility and the nutrient status of soil. Okay. which provides the index of the nutrient availability and supply is in a given soil. Okay, determination of acidity, salinity, and alkalinity. As we know that a soil pH scale has a scale of 0 to 14, and when it comes to 0 to 7, when it comes to 0 to 6, it's an acidic condition. From 6 to 6.5 to 7, it's like neutral condition. So when it moves further from 7 to 14 is an alkaline condition. So basically for a plant growth, like every crop has its own determination of whether it is acidic or it is an alkaline. So with soil testing, we get to know that the soil is acidic or saline. As we move further, it
Mr. Adeeb,
provides a, yes ma'am.
uh, sorry to interrupt, but your screen is white. There is
White,
no content in that. Yeah.
sorry,
Yeah, now it has come. What are the objectives of soil testing? Benefits of soil testing.
is it visible?
Now it is the objectives of soil testing.
Okay.
Now importance, then again objectives has come.
Yeah, sure. Sorry for
Yeah,
that, my
yeah,
from my
yeah.
side.
Okay,
I will start from beginning. Like,
yeah.
what is the objective of soil means? It is helpful in evaluation of soil fertility status, which provides us the index of soil nutrients which are present in the soil in a piece of a soil. Okay. Secondary thing is the determination of acidity, salinity, alkalinity. As I discussed that the soil a pH scale consists of 0 to 14. 0 to 6 is considered of acidic condition, and 6 to 7 is an a neutral condition, and from 7 to 14 it's an alkali condition. For a plant to grow, there need to be a specific soil fertility. Either it should be alkaline, either it should be acidic. So from soil testing we will get to know the determination of a soil. As we move further, uh, it helps in the recommendation. Every crop has their own recommendation, like NPK ratio. NPK means nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium ratio for every crop. These are the major elements like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, which helps in the plant growth and development. So we cannot just put any amount in the soil like 60 amount, 30 amount, not the random amount. So but every crop has its own recommendation. So from soil testing we will get the recommendation. And as we move further, it avoids the excess use of fertilizer. Excess use of fertilizer may lead to soil toxicity, as soil toxicity result in the degradation of the biotic environment in the soil. Biotic environment means the microorganism which is helpful for beneficial for the plant growth and development. It will retard the growth and growth of the population of the microorganisms in the soil as we use excess of the fertilizers. So as we move further, the main concept of this soil testing is like when a crop is harvested, as considerable amount of nutrients are removed from the soil. uh, a successive crop which has been a standing crop which is in the field, when it is harvested, it use some amount of nutrient which is present in the soil, and after harvesting the amounts of nutrient is in a deficient condition. So it causes the fertility loss of fertility in the soil over a long period of time. So the soil should be tested before planting a new crop, so we can evaluate the amount of nutrient which has to be provided for the successive crop. As we move further, it is a sustainability of a soil for a crop. Like sustainability means suitability for the crop means like it will give the proper amount which is required for the crop. As we move further, it predicts the probability of obtaining the profitable response to the fertilizer. So a coin has heads and tails, but soil testing has a benefits. It has no losses. So soil analysis leads to the more informed fertilizer decision, reducing the risk of soil erosion. Excessive application of soil may lead to soil erosion. Soil erosion is nothing but the degradation of the topsoil with the help of media such as water, air, and animals. Okay, soil erosion is the cause of applying the excessive use of fertilizer. So it reveals the amount of plant available micronutrients in the soil, where the soil nutrients are in a soil profile. It helps in identify the nutrient that could be yield limiting. Monitor health property, soil health property such as pH. EC means electrical conductivity, and OC means organic carbon present in the soil. And further, it helps in the availability to crop, thereby yield and profitability. One of the benefit of soil testing is like variable rate application. A certain crop has its own recommendation, which gives this variable rate of application. Uh, Another important is like it maximizes in season responsiveness. So there are criteria of essentiality in uh, fertilizer application. Arnold and Stout in 1939 has provided some criteria like the elements that are termed necessary or essential for the plant need to have a specific structure and physiological role. Secondary thing is that this element needs to be an essential compound without which the process and life cycle is incomplete. Without this element, a plant life cycle is incomplete. So based on the criteria, there are 17 essential elements. They are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, manganese, magnesium, sulfur, iron, boron, manganese, copper, and so on from nickel up to nickel. All the rest are known as non-essential elements except this. So, what are micronutrients? The essential elements which are generally present in the plant in an amount like in excess like 10 millimolar per kg of dry matter. It is known as micronutrients or microelements. There are 9 microelements such as carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur. These are the major elements which is being required for a plant to grow. The other three microelements are potassium, calcium, and manganese. So micronutrients. The micronutrients means it is lesser than the 10 millimolar per kg of dry matter. So there are 8 micronutrients such as iron, manganese, copper, molybdenum, zinc, boron, chloride, and nickel. These are called as micronutrients, which are less important than the micronutrients. So there need to be a specific balance in the nutrients so for the plant growth. Like it shows the plant deficiency. If we have plant in depletion in the soil, see from the left side it shows that the nutrient depletion soil, and another side is the nutrient overloaded soil. With the toxicity of soil, the plant nutrient is deficient, low yielding crop failure, less nutrition food, human and animal nutrient deficiency, which leads to nutrient deficiency. Another thing is like crop more prone to diseases and pest and diseases. Like it most susceptible and resistant to diseases and pest. And plant lodging. Lodging means like failure of a crop to grow. So there are certain improvement interventions like before soil testing, we will gather the information from a soil farmer in the field. Like in the photo, we can see that it's me with the farmer in the field. His name is Pavitra Singh, and it is a locality in Punjab with a cursor number of certain indefined number in Katarpur district. With proper longitude and latitude, we will check the soil conditions. So this is an example of soil sample, soil health card. It is a soil health card which shows the 12 parameters of a soil, of a certain soil. Like it shows like 2.16 hectares. Irrigation is through borewell. So in pH, it is like 7.70. The blue color indicates it's a moderate condition. Here, the normal level is of 7. So the pH of the soil is 7. That means neutral. The electrical conductivity of the soil is 0.04, which is normal. It falls in between the normal level. So on, like yellow color shows the low level. That means it should be in between 0.151 to 0.75, but it's lesser than the normal level. So we should this shows that the soil has the low organic content. So on nitrogen also, it shows the low content. So successively a crop has a recommendation. So further it shows that the red color which is very low as it required for a plant. The required amount is 23 to 57 kg per hectare, but the available nutrient present in the soil is 4.19 kg per hectare. These are the example like which shows the deficiency or sufficient nutrients. Like green color shows the sufficient. That means you should not apply the excess nutrients rather than this. Like these are the remarks. These are the analysis of the soil. 12 parameters are there, and different values for it shows it analysis like is it moderate or is it low or is it high. So there is a department of agriculture in Fagwara, soil testing laboratory. So let me discuss how soil is actually sampled from a field. So you can see that here from the top left corner we have a Z color shape like plot. We will randomly select soil from the field like zigzag manner. Like if you take the soil from the left top corner, then subsequently we will take from the right corner, then from middle, then from the bottom. So we'll mix together the soil, and the instrument which we use in the soil sampling is auger, or we can call as kurpi in normal language. The way of digging is like in V shape, and the diameter, like a depth of soil, is in between 0 to 15 centimeter of subsoil. We can use 15 to 20 for subsoils. So after collecting, we will mix the soil in a container. Then we will thoroughly dry in a shade room dry. So after that, after all process, we will just sieve it. Like sieve in, we have a 2 mm of sieve, which we will use, and then after we collect the soil in a bag. The photo depicts that a depth of the soil which has been taken. Like it shows that S1 and S2, like sample one, and depth S2 is the depth of 20 to 40 centimeter. The crop is like paddy, uh, and the phone shows the longitude and latitude. We have a scale with, so here in the picture we depict that a soil has been collected and we are testing like PC and pH and EC. Usually for calculating the pH and EC there is a proportion like 1 is to 2. Like if we collect the soil in a 5 mg, so we apply 10 mg of water, then we mix together, then we will filtrate it, then after we will take to the soil pH meter and EC meter. We will just gently wash the pH rod, then after we will put the rod in the beaker which contains the soil solution. Then it shows the readings like this readings shows successfully. These are the procedures. Like there are some procedures, like there are some standard solution and there are working solution. Working solutions are the soil extract, and the standard solutions are some other substance like charcoal for organic carbon content. The photo depicts like it is a Zeldal apparatus which is useful for the available nitrogen present in the soil. So my fellow classmate has been extracted this green pigment before the soil is been tested. Like we will get the values of the soil available nutrient after the titration. we will titrate the solution with the standard solutions. So after that titration gives a value. So from that value, we have some formulas. We will put that for our values in that formula. So after that, we will get some value. Successively, it is an estimation of phosphorus. It shows that potassium availability. The potassium we use an instrument called as flame photometer. After extracting the soil, like we have seen here, the filtrate and a beaker consisting of a soil solution. Then gently we will put in the flame photometer and we will check the readings. And this shows the gypsum requirement of a plant. So after all these calculations, we will put all the values in a table. Like for here, serial number, sample number, crop, and pH, EC, and organic carbon. But for a specific depth, 0 to 20, 20 to 40. Similarly, we will make a graph, either the crop. In a field, there are different crops. Like for which crop, the what is the requirement, and we can see like paddy, sorghum, guava, okra. There are different crops, and there are different requirements of the crop. The x-axis shows the availability of the NPK, and the y-axis shows the soil samples. So the method to improve the soil fertility, we can use organic matter, biochar, mulching, mixed cropping, green manure. The advantage of mixed cropping is like the leguminous crop, which is more richer in nitrogen's availability. So we will uh, mixed cropping means like the cropping pattern in which we have two crops. Like one is shorter crop and another one is the longer crop, longer period crops. So each crop has its mutual benefits. Like one crop will helps to the other and the other helps to the other. The organic matter consists of uh, the earthworms, which facilitates the nutrient availability to the plant, and biochar is made up of like our plant wastage, food wastage, like food peel, fruit peels, and decomposed matters. Like mulching is helpful in the it avoids the evapotranspiration from the soil. Evapotranspiration is nothing but the transpiration or evaporation of the water or nutrients from the soil. So to avoid that, we use mulching. Mulching, the material we use in mulching is a black polythene sheet. That's all. Anything else?
Thank you,
Hello.
Mr. Adeeb, for the presentation. Now I will take a few questions.
Sure.
So the first question is, what are the specific parameters or soil characteristics that farmers should pay close attention to during the testing process, and
Hmm.
how do these impact crop productivity?
Like,
Mr. Adeeb, can you your screen is totally blank. If
yeah, yeah.
you're comfortable, you can on your video if you're comfortable.
Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry.
If you're comfortable, can you on your video?
Sure, sure.
Yeah. You can stop sharing the screen. I think it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I can see. Yeah. So I'll repeat the question.
Yes.
What are the specific parameters or soil characteristics that farmers should pay close attention to during the testing process, and how do these impact crop productivity?
So the parameters which a farmer should keep in mind, like soil fertility, soil alkalinity or acidity, or its pH, and the nutrient requirements. Like there are 12 parameters: nitrogen, available nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and there are 12 nutrients. So before cropping, a farmer need to thoroughly test their soil so they can recommend the fertilizer. We cannot just fertilizer in a simple manner or random manner. So
Okay.
yeah.
Next question. How does soil testing enable farmers to make informed decisions about the selection of suitable crops and the implementation of effective fertilization strategies?
Yeah, ma'am. As I show the soil health card, it shows the parameters like its requirement, either it is low in a low quantity or it's in a high quantity. So the soil health card is an ideal, or it's a card which shows the nutrients values. Like if it's in a low, we will apply the fertilizer with plus 25%. So if it's high, we will use the fertilizer minus 25%. So as such, a farmer can plan their fertilizer recommendation.
Okay. As I read out the question, I'm posting in the chat box also so that it is easy for you also.
Sure, sure.
In your opinion, what are the common misconception or oversights that farmers often have regarding soil testing, and how can these be addressed to encourage wider adoption of these practice?
So in current conditions, ma'am, like farmers are unaware of there is a soil testing thing. Like they don't know, like they are just practicing the traditional matter of traditional material method of fertilizer recommendation. As their father says, like there is a certain recommendation, they are applying it. But as the year passes, the fertility of a soil is degraded. So the required amount of fertilizer which is present in the past is not at the present. So cropping a plant, before cropping a crop, uh, a farmer should test their soil gently.
Okay. Next question is, how does the process of soil testing contribute to cost efficiency and resource optimization for farmers, and what are some tangible benefits that can be observed in terms of overall farm profitability?
So, ma'am, so every crop has its recommendation, but the farmers are applying in a random base. Like if a crop has a recommendation of 120 kgs per hectare, but the farmer applying it like 200 per kg per hectare. So from soil health card, we will get the information like this soil has the certain amount and the plant required certain amount. So from this, a farmer can calculate and he can reduce the fertilizer application based on the plant requirement. So if a farmer apply after soil testing, it's like 120. Before it was like 200. So here he can save some certain amount of money. Like 1 kg of urea is like 1,000 rupees. So he can like save 1,000 rupees per kg per ton. Sorry.
Okay. And next question is, are there any specific technological advancements or innovations in the field of soil testing that you believe will revolutionize the way farmers approach soil management and crop cultivation in the near future?
Yes, ma'am. There are certain innovations like GIS and GPS, which shows the site-specific management. Uh, we have a satellite-based system which shows that a field requirements of the nutrient. So, by following that requirement, we can apply the nutrients. GIS and
Okay,
GPS.
okay. And what key role does soil testing play in the context of sustainable agriculture and conservation of natural resources, particularly in regions facing ecological challenges?
Yeah, ma'am. Soil testing, which helps in the uh, soil to avoid the degradation of the soil. So without soil testing, when a farmer cultivates its crop, which leads in a soil erosion, the microbial death, and soil toxicity. So these are the parameters which will be excluded from the soil after soil testing.
Okay. Next question is, could you shed some light on the potential risks or disadvantages associated with neglecting soil testing before cultivating a crop and how this can affect long-term viability of agricultural activities?
So when a farmer cultivates their crop without soil testing, uh, there might be crop failure, or there might be disease and pests attack in their crop. There might be waterlogging condition, or there might be alkalinity or salinity. These are the parameters which will be arises when a farmer won't follows this parameter of soil testing. The parameters are like disease and resistance, waterlogging condition, soil toxicity, and loss in the yield, and the crop failure immediately.
Okay. Next question. What recommendations or guidelines would you offer to farmers regarding the frequency and timing of soil testing, and how can they ensure the continuous monitoring and maintenance of soil health throughout various crop cycles?
So every state has their own agriculture college. So they publish a certain recommendation in their locality. This soil testing, like the agriculture college of agriculture in their own states, they will they will just test their soil in a particular districts. So for every district they will show a recommendation of a soil. So a farmer can follow that recommendation if if they won't test their soil testing.
Okay. Okay. Considering the diverse agricultural landscape in different regions, what are some general best practices or standardized approaches that can be universally adopted for effective soil testing, irrespective of geographical variations?
Sorry, ma'am.
I'll repeat.
Yes, ma'am.
Considering the diverse agricultural landscape in different regions, what are some best what are some general best practices or standardized approaches that can be universally adopted for effective soil testing, irrespective of geographical variations?
Okay. A farmer can adopt certain, like there are some soil mini kits which a farmer can adopt. Like there are soil leaf area index, leaf color charts, and there are certain mini soil testing laboratories which a farmer can establish in the field. Like every mandal or every tehsil has a KVK, Krishi Vignan Kendra. So the farmer can follow the Krishi Vignan Kendra KVK's rules and regulations. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we'll take up the last question. Could you elaborate on any case studies or instances where soil testing has directly contributed to increased yields or improved crop quality in the agricultural sector?
See, with soil testing, we can compare the crop loss and the crop yield. Without soil testing, a crop may lead to soil crop failure. With soil testing, we will get a certain recommendation. So for that with that recommendation, the proportion of crop failure is lesser than without soil testing.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Adip, I don't see any more questions from our participants. So now we have come to end of question round. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we'd like to thank you for the presentation and answering all the questions. And we also like to thank all the participants for joining this meeting. Have a good and safe evening and safe weekend. Wish you all happy Dasra and
Thank you. Thank you.
happy Navratri. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We'll close this meeting now.
Sure.